Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
Hey everyone, Sue here from 1A Auto, and today on our 06 BMW 325Ci, we are performing service inspection number 2. To do the service, you need a cabin filter, air filter, and spark plugs. So if you need these parts or any other parts for your car, click on the link below and head on over to 1aauto.com. So these are the parts you'll need in a service 2 for this BMW. The fuel filter is for every second service 2, and there's a small list of visual checkovers as far as brake lines, hoses, CV shaft, boots, and brake fluid test. Open the hood on this 06 325Ci. The lever is on the driver's side, left foot kick panel right here. It's a long black handle. Just pull on it and the hood pops up. The nice thing about this BMW, the hood latch lever pops right out of the grill area, and you just pull up on that and lift the hood open. The first spot is it's located in the center of the engine compartment, right below the windshield. You've got 3 little clips here. You just turn them to the side, they pop right up. They're spring-loaded. Once those are popped up, you just grab this lid and slide it right out. Then we're going to lift up the actual seals that goes around this compartment area, because we're going to take this out. So you're going to have 4 T40 bolts. You can see them located up on that firewall. Using a Torx bit screwdriver, I'm just going to take them all out, right across. I'm just going to remove this sheathing so that I can take these wires and make sure that I don't break the tabs. Get the battery cable and the electrical wiring harness. Now we're going to lift up on this housing. And get that out of the way. So in order to take the engine cover off, we took that out of the way, the cowl up there, and I'm going to take these little covers with a small screwdriver, just pop them out. It looks like it's a 10 millimeter, and also you're going to need to take the oil cover off. Set that right there. 10 millimeter socket. I'm going to take these 2 mounting nuts off this cover. Set those aside. And just grab onto that cover and lift it right up out of the way. Now I'm just going to place the oil cover back on because I just don't want any dirt or accidents to happen of something falling down in that crankcase. To disconnect the ignition coil harness, these are little levers that pop up. I like to take a flathead screwdriver and I just give myself a little leverage, and then you can watch it actually disconnect itself and push the harness out. It's a really nice design. And then you just push your finger right into that hole and give it a twist and pull up. And there's your ignition coil. Now I'm going to take number 1 cylinder spark plug out. And I'm going to use a spark plug socket that we sell here at 1A Auto on our website. And it is a 5/8 extended, all one piece. And it's great for deep cylinder holes like this, BMW is notorious for. And we'll take that right out. And there is our spark plug, and you can see the crossfire. It's a 4-pin crossfire. And this is a magnetic style. So the magnet holds onto it and locks it in. So before I install my new spark plug, because it's a crossfire, 4-piece crossfire, there is no gapping, but we do a visual and make sure that, you know, accidents happen. This could have been dropped at the factory before it went in the box. You want to make sure the prongs are all look like visually the equal distance and that the ceramic is not cracked. And that includes on this part of the ceramic. Everything checks out good for this plug, so I'm going to install it. Always install spark plugs by hand first. You don't want to cross thread an aluminum head. That is not a project you wish to tackle. There are torque specs to this. So what I do is I just take my 3/8 and I'll just snug it, crush that washer a little bit, and I'll go get my torque specs and torque it down. So there are 2 sets of specs for this. If it is a 12mm spark plug, the specs are 14.8 to 19.2 foot-pounds. If it's 14mm, it is 20 to 24 foot-pounds. I'm going with 5/8, so I'm going with the 14mm, and I'm going to set this at 21 foot-pounds. Now before I install my new coil, you can see a little bit of dry dielectric grease they install at the factory. I'm just going to add just a little bit more, nothing too generous. I'm going to set it up, line it right up, push it down, feel it physically click in, make sure it's sealed all the way around, that rubber seal, and I'll line up my connector. And then bring this right down and lock it. Now we're going to continue this down and do the same procedure on the next 5 cylinders. Now that I've done all my coils and spark plugs, I'm ready to install the engine cover again. So I will remove the oil fill cover, slide this down through, replace that. And I have the 2 mounting 10mm nuts, 10mm socket size. Being a plastic cover, I'm just gonna really just snug it down. There's no need to crank that down. There we go. And the 2 covers, line up the grooves. You'll see the little indent tab here. It's in the front part, and then the 2 longer tabs. So now I'm going to put that plastic cowl back in. I'm going to just line it right up. Place it right in. There we go. And get the back screws started. Just pop them into place. And take your T30. Start them. I recommend starting all of them before you tighten it all the way down. Okay, so now I'm going to just tighten it down. They're all started. I know it's in the place it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to put the positive cable back into the housing. I'm going to mount that on that big inner clip right on over to the other side. So the positive cable goes down right there, and then this harness with the loom will clip into this. We'll take the under piece and line it up. There's tabs in the back, tabs in the front. Just line them up and snap it right back up in there. There you go. To install your cabin filter, you've got a tab right here in the bottom, in the middle, I'm sorry, and 2 tabs on each side. And you'll see that there's a notch right here that tab in the center is going to line up to, and the 2 side tabs. So just slide it right in easily. Line that center tab up, line this side, and then go line up the other side. Now we're going to install the cover, and that just slides right down in the back there. And you line up these little tabs, push down and twist. Now we can install the seal. Just line it, push it down, bring it all the way around. I'm going to put this one on before I go over there. And then we're all set. So the fuel filter is located on the undercarriage, right below the driver's seat. And there's a splash shield here that we need to take down. And it's going to have an 8mm socket that holds these bolts on. There's 2 in the center, 1 in the rear, and then 1 up in the front. Actually, 2 up in the front. Okay, now that I've got all the mounting mechanism off, I'm going to grab the shield and pull that right down. So the new fuel filter does not come with the rubber hoses that are on the steel lines from the factory. And this is all undercoating and it looks wet, but it's not. It's just the shininess to it. So make sure you look at your lines and it's not dry rotted and cracked. And I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver and disconnect my 3 clamps for the inlets and the outlet hoses. I don't know if your car is going to have the undercoating on it, but it can be kind of more of a pain when it comes to working on it. And I am going to disconnect the hoses at the filter. I don't want to disconnect them down here and then transfer them around. The minimal movement on those, probably the better. Okay, and then there's 1 line in the front. And then there's the vent line right here. And that you just pull right off. Now that I have my fuel lines all unclamped, I'm going to take the holding bracket off, and that's a 10mm socket. And I sprayed it with a little bit of rust penetrating because I don't want this to break. If I feel like it gets too tough, I'm going to go back the other way and work it. Unfortunately, the stud is part of the floor, I do believe. There you go. All right. I'm going to get a flathead screwdriver or a little pry bar. Pry down on this. So it hooks in the back. Now I get a pair of long needle nose that are curved to it, and I'm going to try to break these rubber hoses free without damaging them. I'm not going to take them all the way off until I get a bucket, because fuel really will come out. Okay, let's get a bucket. All right, my catch basin is underneath. Let's see what we get coming out. How much? Yep, it's under pressure. And that's why I have glasses on. That's the return line. I'm going to move a little bit quick here because I want to get I want to put the new filter in before too much gas comes out. I'm going to connect these two back ones first. And I'll connect the front one. Put my vent line on. And now I can take my flat head screwdriver and snug down the clamps. So I'm using an adjustable pair of pliers to tighten these clamps. The style of this is, must be a European specialty tool. It's flat on two sides and it's got a slot for a screwdriver to loosen, but you cannot tighten it with a screwdriver because the metal sides are missing to go clockwise. So what I've been doing is I'm lining up my clamp, closing the adjustable pliers like this, and then just tightening it. It actually worked out pretty good. It's not that hard. It's not a socket. I thought it was at first, but it's just two complete flat sides and then the missing the metal for the cutout. And I want to make sure this is tight. We are going to run it, and then before we put the shield on, strongly recommend running it. Then you'll raise it up or get underneath and look for leaks. Then you put your shield on. I'm going to put the clamp on first. If you see in the back here, there's a piece of metal with some eyelets in it. And you're going to line those up and then push it right up into the stud. And then put the nut back on. That's a 10mm socket. And we'll tighten that right down. So I've run it, and I let it run for a little bit, shut it off, lifted it up, and as you can see, everything is dry. I have no fuel leaks. I hope the same for you. And now we're ready to put the shield back up. So I'm going to line the front two studs, and then line up the back here. I'll put one in by hand, and then I can let go of the plate. With an 8mm socket, I'm going to tighten these right up. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at 1aauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.